Hi guys, Steve Blanker here again. Hey, I wanted to share with you a tip on something I kind of learned how to do a while back, and that's how to expand a cast bullet to make it a little bit larger diameter. Um, I think y'all know that I really enjoy antique rifles, and I've got stuff going back over 150 years. And back in the old days, the rifle bores and groove diameters varied a lot, and they weren't necessarily standardized like they are today. So sometimes getting a bullet that fits the barrel that you want to shoot in is hard. You often end up having to get a custom mold made, or something like that. But sometimes I like to experiment first and see if I can get a rifle to shoot, see if it's going to shoot well before I get a special mold for it. I've got to draw from what I got. So sometimes I just need a bullet that's a little bit different size than what I have, and if it's something that's a little smaller, I can usually size it down. But if I need something that's a little larger than what I have, or if I just want to try like a different weight bullet in something, I'm going to show you how I can enlarge that a little bit. So basically, it's quite simple. Really, the key to it is using a loop size die from your loop sizer. In my case, I use a Lyman, and a couple of bolts and some pressure. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to swedge the bullet down inside the die so it squishes out to the diameter of the die. So as an example today, I'm going to use a 45 Colt bullet. It's about a 250 grain bullet for a 45 Colt. And it's about 500 and, no, let me try that again, 452, 453 is the diameter of it. And I've got a 459 sizing die, so typically used for a 45-70, something like that. So that means, I want to expand this bullet about, 5-6 thousandths, make it a little bit larger. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And the key to it is I'm going to put it in here, I'm going to put it in a press. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the bullet in. As you can see, the bullet right now just drops right through it. So I make a ram that will press down on it, and I use an arbor press just because I have one, but you can do this in a vise or anything that's going to give you enough pressure to do it. I wouldn't try doing it in a loop sizer. They're just not beefy. Most of them aren't made for that kind of pressure. But a vise, any kind of hydraulic press or, an arbor press. But I use a couple different things. Here, this is an example. This is just a bolt with a nylon stop nut on it. And that's the critical part, because we don't want to press down any further than you need to expand the bullet to the walls of the sizing die. Any more than that, you're going to deform the nose a bit more. Now, as it is, I use this for basically for flat point bullets, but even those, it's going to expand the flat point, make it a little bit larger. The meat plat's going to get a little larger just by being squished, so you don't want to press any more than you have to. So I use a bolt like that with a stop nut, or in this case, I've got a piece of threaded rod with 2 lock nuts on it that I just lock it. And the nuts prevent it from going too deep. So I've already got this one set up, so it will only press down with the bullet in the die. It's going to slip in here like this. And it's the gap between the bottom of the nut here and the top of the die is about 40 thousandths of an inch. And what I do is I use feeler gauges to set it about where I think it is, and then I'll adjust it to where I want it. And you only want to press it just enough to get it to expand out to the walls of the sizing die. So, and that's about enough for this one. So it's going to flatten the nose a little bit more, but for my purpose of testing it and testing out a rifle with it, this is fine. I'm not going to use this for production, for doing hundreds and hundreds of bullets, but I might do 10 or 20 to try it out in a rifle or a pistol or something and see how it works. But it just gives you a way to test things out. It's for experimentation, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this over here in the arbor press. I'm going to put the bullet, and it goes in from the die. You want the bullet down at the bottom of the die where there are no holes. And also you want to grease the bullet first. You want to fill the grease grooves with some bullet lube, and that will help maintain them from being deformed when it's under pressure. You don't want those lube grooves to close up. So a little bit of, I use a little of my black powder lube here. I just smear it on, fill the grooves. That also makes it come out of the die a little easier. It'll still be in there tight, but this will help and keep the lube grooves from closing up, at least not much. All right. So I've got it lubed. I'm going to take the die, set it here in the press. I'm just going to slip the bullet over the die. And then I've got my threaded rod already adjusted. So I'm going to set that right on top of it and then bring the press down. And you can see it's just going to move it a little bit. It's only going about 40 thousandths. Okay. So now that bullet is in there tight, it's in the die tight. So what I do is I just stick a socket underneath it and I put a little piece of dowel, slip that under here, and that just help me to push the bullet out of the die. Just drop it out. Oop, I guess it didn't push it quite enough. Let's do that a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Okay. So here's our bullet out of the die. And so let's measure it now. It was about 452, 453 around there. And I know you can't see the mic, but I'm right at 459. So we just bumped up the diameter about 6,000th of an inch or so. Now the meat-plat is a little bit bigger. Let's see. Here's one that, you can see it. That's one that has not been done, and then here's the one I just did. So you can see it's a little bit bigger. But again, for my purposes for testing, that's fine. But now I have a bullet that's the size that I want to use for testing out this gun. Now, if you want to get creative, you can maybe take your drill press and you can drill the end of the bolt, maybe make a round concave area to fit a round nose bullet to fit a little bit better. You might even, it won't really work with this one, but you could take a top punch like that, drill the end of your ram bolt hollow for this to fit in. And then that would fit you can use these to fit the nose of your bullet. But the problem is most of these top punches have an outer diameter here that's too big to slip down inside the die. And so unless you want to modify one of these, but that's just another way you can do it. So that's about it. I just wanted to show you a quick and easy way to enlarge your bullets. It's great for testing. I got some old rimfires I'm playing with and quite a few others. So I do this regularly. I might do 10 or 20 at a time. And I have quite a few different sizing dies, so I can play with whatever size I want. And if need be, you can make your own. You can even make a simple die from using a drill bit and a piece of steel and drill in a hole that's the size you need, cleaning it up with some nice 320-400 grit paper on a stick to kind of polish it up a little bit and make yourself a custom die if you need it. So, well, I hope you found this interesting. Again, my idea is just to help you come up with a way to fit a bullet for testing things out. So, if you like the video, please like it, and if you want to see some more, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing some more videos soon. Great. Thanks for watching.